Hey everybody, I guess I can call this my late Friday post or early Saturday post because it's after 12. I would like to thank everyone who has participated in the chat about my speaking point today on forgiveness. It brought out quite a bit. Um, Thank you. Now, let me say this. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. I'm not that type of person. But I do like great dialogue. I like the fact that we can take a topic, and whether we agree or not, everybody's able to voice their opinion. I'm going to give a shout out again to Jilly Bean. Let me tell you something. I ain't never got to say nothing to anybody in the chat, because Jilly Bean going to get in that ass. And I tell you what, what's that old saying? If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. I'm going to tell you right now. If you come and say something to her, you better be prepared to be able to, what's the right word I want to say? Take what's being dished out, meaning that if you come back with a smart comment and she give you back one, you better come back with a good one. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, I read the chat, which I always do. And Chicken Noodle, I'm going to apologize to you, which I did put in the chat, because I was petty that day. You're the only one that I actually went back and said something to, and I said I wasn't going to be that type of content creator. But that was a bad day for me, so it really had nothing to do with you other than you just happened to be the one that was in the chat talking crap that day. Let me say this. When I say something on this channel, like I may send her a personal message through my vlog or whatever we calling this, um, because I felt like that day. But it can be for anybody. I don't know who might stumble upon one of these videos and happen to see it. I'm glad that most were able to receive and it did touch them in some kind of way. It may not even be for the person that read it. It may be for them to be able to share it with somebody else. Now, did I expect her to come over here, watch the video, and be able to receive it and move forth with doing something about it? Hell no. Why? Because her ego is not going to let her. She's too damn stubborn. And there are some people like that. There are people that's going to die on their deathbed, still being mad and carrying a grudge. And guess what? We all get to be able to do what it is that we want to do. That's the beauty of choice. I don't have a hell to put her in or a hell to keep her out of. It's all in what you believe. Everybody that comes to this channel may not be a Christian. They may not believe in God. I don't know what your belief system is. That's between you and, whoever you choose to follow, believe in, or whatever, or not. That's not my issue. I'm not going to argue with anybody about their faith or lack of faith. I'm just going to put on here content that comes to me that I feel like I want to share, and you glean from it what you can. If it's not for you, that's okay. Everything I say is not going to be for everybody. So that's fine. And we know that she reads the chat in the video. Look at the video. Because just as soon as I put that up, I'm seeing her act a dang on fool. I told you a long time ago, and I did a video on it called Buffoonery. A lot of the stuff she does to get a reaction from people. It's like, I noticed this when my son was younger. When he was about 2 or 3. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to drink some water at the same time. That, on the days that I might have been having a bad day at work or something, and I may not have been as attentive as I normally was, it seemed like that would be the day that he would just show enough cut the food. But I realized that he was cut the fool because he knew when he did that, I was definitely going to give him my undivided attention. And that's how she is. Children will do, or people, I can't just say children, will do negative things to get attention because guess what? Even if it's not positive attention, it is attention. So she does things to get people attention. Simple as that. She don't care if it's her putting a mask all on her face and neck and head and sitting there looking like a Dusty. She don't care if it's her staying in her clothes 4-7 days. She don't care if it's her wearing, the doll hair wig, her cussing people out, her getting drunk and doing crazy stuff in her videos, the way she eats. Because you know what? It's all for the purpose of the new subs. Because if you look back at the videos when she was at Miss Charlene's house, when she was sitting there eating with Miss Charlene or whatever the case may be, was she doing all that smacking and crap? Though she would tell you that's how she eats, it's not. She started doing that foolishness for the mukbang. And so she still does it, which is pretty disgusting. But, yeah. She does it to get people to say something. Let me tell you something. We know that negative, us going back and forth, gets her views. What she don't like is it gets me views too. But she already knows this. So some of the things she do is just so that she can have some attention because she's not getting any. And she showed us that. She's a prime example. I mean, look at her demeanor and how she acted when she was in the household with Charlene and she had somebody to be around compared to how she is sitting in that van by herself. She is a pitiful case. Pitiful. I mean, how many times can you clean out a van? How many times can you do a van tour of the same van that you cleaned out? Matter of fact, I wouldn't even have done a van tour because the van looks nothing like what it looked like when she did the original van tour on Bob Wills. If she wanted to do some stuff, she could rehab her instead of spending money at the Goodwill and Ross and buying shit you don't need. Rehab the van. Recover those little sliding doors that you got. Spruce it back up to make it look decent. I mean, those are things that you have time to do because it's not like you're busy. But yeah, the whole purpose of me putting out there, the Bible talks about, it's a parable about sowing seeds. And it was like how the seeds was put on rocky ground, good ground. Goodness, I forgot the third one. How did I forget the third one? Somebody in the chat will know it. My Bible's not in here, and I'm on the phone. But it talks about pretty much how the other two seeds got washed away or whatever, and only the seed that was planted in good ground grew. I'll get it and put it in the chat the next, Lord. Put it in the next vlog I do because I don't like telling a story and not giving you the reference. But it is early in the morning. Anyway, this is how I look at it. I have always said what I needed to say. And a lot of times it will be gauged towards just my opinion, and then God may come in and be like, I need you to clean this up and do it the way I want you to do it. Either way, the thing is, I don't expect everybody to receive anything that I say. But I feel like it's planting a seed. Because if I come along and plant the seed, somebody else may come along and water the seed, and then somebody else will help come back and help harvest the seed as it grows. So I may be the planter, and that's fine. I don't ever have to see the I don't ever have to see the harvest. I don't ever have to see it sprout up. When you're the planter, you plant and you keep it moving. There is nothing anybody can say in my chat that would really offend me. Why? Because I don't have to receive anything anybody put in the chat that I don't like. You see what I'm saying? I don't try to walk around in offense. The things that may offend me and I have to get past is like things such as child abuse, elderly abuse, being mean to people who don't have the power that you have. Some of the ills of the world, those things upset me and offend me. But you saying something to me in the chat? Why? Would I care? See, that people say to be on YouTube, you got to have a thick skin. To be on YouTube, you need to know who you are. The thick skin is knowing who you are and whose you are. I don't have to be offended by somebody saying something to me that I don't believe what they say and I know it's not true. You get what I'm saying? If you came over here and said, well, Deborah, I heard that you were, I don't know, animal abuser. That y'all know I didn't foot Park earlier, right? I'll be saying that. I'll be saying it to him. He don't pay me no attention. I'm always threatening to beat him. And then y'all still hear him bark and act like he don't hear me. And maybe that's him telling me back that I'm not going to whoop him. I don't know. But let's say that somebody said I was an animal abuser from that statement I made early. I'm not going to get mad because I know that I'm not. My dog is very well taken care of. That's why he act the way he act, because he's spoiled. So somebody else may take what I said and twist it and mold into whatever they want. As long as I know who I am and what I believe in and what I walk my life out in, I'm okay. Because there's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree, but that's the beauty of it. God gives us a choice. If God gives you a choice to whether you want to serve him or not, who am I to come in and tell you that you don't have a choice to say or do whatever it is you want to do? I don't have to go along with it. I don't have to like it. I might even be on the other side trying to stop you from doing it. But you still have a choice. I have not seen her video today. Yeah, I haven't. Sometimes I don't watch them. And I never watch them all the way through because they're so sad and pitiful. And those spirits can come off of her and get on you. That's why I don't listen to her prayers, because they're not prayed to me. And this is my opinion, which is what my channel is, a reaction channel where I give commentary on things in the world and other people vlogs. And it's my opinion, everybody have one, and it's covered under fair use. So don't nobody get all upset about it. I don't listen to prayers that you yourself have not received, because when you spew it out here in the airways, people pick it up. So I don't listen to some. If I can't see you walking out what you praying, then why am I going to listen to your prayers? If I don't see you being successful in your walk, why should I follow you? That's just my opinion on it. It seemed like there was something else I wanted to say. I hope you guys had a wonderful Friday. Like I said, I love the dialogue and interaction in the chat. I still need to go through the other, because I went on a video rant the other day, didn't I? Putting videos out. Yeah, I took a nap early and I just woke up, so that's why I'm up here at 1 o'clock in the morning making this video. Oh, but I told y'all, I'm serious about getting some of this fluffiness off me. So my little portable, I don't know if you can even see it. You can kind of see it. Treadmill came today. So we will see. My sister was like, can I hold you accountable like you told your people in your video? I was like, you sure can. You sure can. But this is definitely more for my health because I don't like exercising. So, but it gets to a point where you got to do what you got to do. So, yeah. I think I told you guys I went and got an MRI. So I knew I had arthritis in my lower back, but I also have a bulging disc between my T11 and T12. And so I need to get some of the weight off of that because I don't want them to do surgery on my spine at all. So yeah, so now the ball's back in my court. We'll see how well I bounce it. So I'm going to quit saying I don't like exercise. I love exercising, and I'm going to want to get up and do it every day. Usually once I start, as long as I don't stop, I'm good because it does make you feel better. It's just that if I take one day off, man, it turns into 2 to 3, some months, then some years. Yes. There was a subscriber, I'm not going to say her name, who said that she wasn't ready to forgive Miss V. And that's fine. Forgiveness is something that you do for yourself when you feel like you want to do it. It's not mandatory. And some people don't believe in forgiveness. And that's okay too. There are some things that have been done to people that have made them get to the point that they feel like they cannot forgive those people. And I understand. So I wasn't trying to beat anybody over the head with my message, nor was I trying to force anybody to do something that they're not ready to do. You do everything, you do it in your own timing. I mean, you'll know when it's right for you, because I can't tell you when to forgive for something if it didn't happen to me or I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So it's all for you. And so, like I said, I appreciate the ones who said that they have or are, and the ones who said that they can't and maybe never will. I was just using me as an example to get across my message that I was putting out there. Seems like there's something else I wanted to say, but I can't think of it now. I guess I'll go back to sleep. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna end with this. As I was growing up and doing all the things I did in my life, till I was about, let's say, 58, 57, 58. I often wonder, why did my life end up the way that it did? Why did I have to go through the things that I went through? And for a long time, I was very angry. It wasn't that I didn't believe in God. It's just that I was angry at God. And I'm sure somebody would get in the chat and say, oh, you shouldn't do that. But I was. And I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me. Because I couldn't understand why all the different things that happened into my life happened. Until I got older. And going into the field that I went into, which I knew was what I was supposed to do when I was in high school and I took my very first psychology class. I just wasn't mature and inept enough to know that God was trying to show me my path in life way back then. But once I got older, and I finished up my education and started working in the field dealing with people. My walk lined it up for what my passion was, which is being a counselor. So everything that I went through was so that when I sit across from somebody and they're telling me about what's going on with them and their life, it was so that I would have the ability to have compassion and empathy and being able to relate to them. It's different when you sit in front of somebody and you're sharing what's going on in your life with a total stranger, and you can tell that they have no clue of what you're talking about. They never experienced anything like that. You can tell. I have been successful in what I do simply because when somebody sits across the table from me, I can identify on some level with what they're saying. If they're talking about being homeless, they're talking about not having money, they talked about having a cheating spouse, they talked about children that got in trouble, if they talked about abuse, if they talked about neglect or feeling unloved, there's a laundry list of things that I could go through. And once I realized that that was why I had to walk up my life the way it did, it was like all the links in the chain started connecting. And I was okay. I was okay. Because I may not have always liked the storms that I was in, but once I realized it wasn't just for me, it was for me to be able to identify with somebody else and help them, it made it all worthwhile. Did I like it? No, still didn't. If it happened again, I wouldn't like it. But it was worth in the long run. So I say that to say that sometimes we don't fully understand why we're going through what we're going through at the time. But if you live long enough and you seek God on what it is, or your higher power, or looking within yourself, some people have the ability to be able to look within themselves and being able to see themselves so clear that they understand their path in life. I don't know if that makes sense to some people or not. So yeah, I pray that all will find their purpose for being here. I truly believe that none of us was brought here for just, shits and giggles. Everybody has a gift, everybody has a talent, and everybody has a purpose. The sad thing is so many people leave here without knowing their gift, their talent, or the purpose of why they were created. Maybe that'll give Miss Ma'am something to do while she's sitting in that van, is figure out what her real purpose is. Because, ma'am, what I can say, it is not bashing your parents, your sisters, your brothers, other people, manipulating older ladies. And for those who, yet again, feel like I'm bashing our buddy, I'm not. If she would just stop getting on her channel and blaspheming God, then I would quit. Because she's not helping anybody. She doesn't use the word of God to really even give her motivational messages. She uses little, I'm trying to think. Y'all know it's after one. It's like little key phrases that Christians use. That it's almost like when you first become a Christian, you're taught these little key phrases. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she used. And then she don't even be saying those correctly. Just like when I tried to tell y'all the parable, I honestly said, hey, I'm messing it up. I couldn't remember the 3 different scenarios. But I said I would go back, get it, and put it on here. Why? Because if I was going to use it, I should have got my Bible in the first place so that I would be able to give it to you clearly. I don't play with the Word of God like that. If I'm going to say it, I want it to be as correct as possible, especially when I can go look it up on pretty much anything nowadays. So for how you sit there and give a motivational word from God, and it's like if I gave a speech and you sat there and listened, and you turned around and call yourself regurgitating this speech to somebody else, but half the stuff you said in there was wrong. It sends a false sense of who you are, for one, out to the people, and it leads them astray. You got people who may have never opened up the Bible, who have never had a relationship with Christ, and they're looking to you to be sort of like a mentor and lead them, whether you believe it or not. And when you lead the sheep astray, you have to be accountable for it. Just like I would never read a chat message where someone was telling me that there were some ills in their life or they wasn't feeling well or whatever. I no longer do that thing that I will pray for you later. I'm going to pray for you right then. And I probably will leave you some form of a message. I'm not going to leave a whole prayer in there, but I will pray for you right at that moment when I read your message. So I'm not going to skip over it. Because if somebody is reaching out to you, telling you something like that, then they're doing that because they need something back. And since you're not going to be able to go over there and heal them or take care of whatever it is, you pray that it gets taken care of. I did see someone talk about how Jesus will lead the multitude to go save the one sheep. I'm going to tell y'all this story, and then I'm going to get off here. I'm sure many have seen it, and maybe some haven't. I don't know if you've ever seen that picture that depicts Jesus carrying the sheep around his neck. It's like a baby lamb. I guess that's what I would say. I wouldn't think it could have been a full-grown sheep. I don't know. But a lot of times you'll see that picture, and you'll hear about that scripture about Jesus leaving the multitude to go get the one. And you would say, why would he leave thousands of people to go get one sheep? Well, he wants all to be saved. But there's a story behind the picture of Jesus carrying the sheep around his neck. When you're a shepherd, you're in charge of all the sheep. You make sure they're safe. You make sure they get fed. You make sure you lead them to the fields where they're going to eat and lead them back safely. So if you have sheep that may get outside the flock, a lot of times you got wolves on the perimeter of where the sheep are, and they're hoping that one of them will go astray because that's dinner for them. And as a good shepherd, you don't want any of your sheep to get eaten up by the wolf. So what the shepherd will do, being the good shepherd that he or she is, what they will do, they will go after that one sheep. But they're going to break the legs of that sheep. And that's why you have the picture of the shepherd, Jesus, carrying the sheep around the neck, because the sheep can no longer walk. But the reason that they do that is so that as the sheep heals, because the shepherd's going to carry that sheep until it heals, there is a bonding that goes between the shepherd and the sheep, so that the sheep will never try to leave the flock again and run away. Don't know if y'all ever heard that. Just thought I'd put it out there. I'm one of those people that's full of tidbits of information. I know. I'm just like that. So I hope everybody had a good Friday. We're rolling over into Saturday. I hope it's a nice day. Today wasn't too bad today. I'm supposed to take the little baby grandbaby. Well, he ain't a baby no more. He 2. Busy little fella. He just started school. My son sent me pictures. He's so cute. Supposed to take Kim so he can get some more little school clothes and couple more pairs of shoes. So, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do tomorrow. All right, I hope you guys get some rest, have fun for your weekend, and I'm sure I'll be back on here again before it's over with. All right, guys, bye.